but we do have smaller goals. Go ahead.
So I mentioned protective styling before, and I think that goes hand in hand with one of my bigger goals, because I didn't know my hair. Number one, didn't know it, didn't know what to do with it, didn't know what it needed. It was like this crying baby that I didn't know how to make stop, and I wasn't listening to it.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I know I have to do to maintain healthy relaxed hair is to stretch my relaxers. So the boxes recommend like 6 to 8 weeks.
That's 1.5 to 2 months.
Yeah, that's nothing. It's not at all enough time for your hair to. Well, of course, your hair grows what, 1/2 to 2 inches.
Okay.
A month. And so your hair will naturally be growing.
Yeah.
You might not see it because it's breaking at the same time if you're not listening to it. But technically your hair should grow 1/2 inch or 1.3 centimeters every single month. If you're retaining length. Can you imagine at the end of the year, if you do have healthy hair, how long it can grow?
12 centimeters of growth.
I mean, so
amazing.
when it comes to your hair health for relaxed hair, you should be stretching your relaxer to at least minimum 10 to 12 weeks, not 6 to 8. But the reason that so many people end up getting impatient is because your hair gets hard to manage. It's basically like you were saying, you used to relax every 6 months.
Every 6 months.
And you would get irritated with, it's basic, your hair is basically transitioning if you go too far. So you don't want to stretch it too far. Very importantly, if you are trying to stretch it, maybe add 2 weeks at a time. So if you currently relax your hair every 6 to 8 weeks, then stretch it 2 weeks at a time until you get to a comfortable time. I wouldn't, for instance, be able to do 16 weeks. I know some people, some bloggers have. That is not me. 12 weeks is a good amount. This time I'm going to stretch it to 13.
Okay.
Because of my dates, you know, we gotta have. you know when you know that you want to straighten your hair, and then so so in order to be able to stretch your hair, you need to take care of it carefully. You need to take care of it differently, like you were saying as well. How you looked after your hair after 2 months post-relax versus 6 months. It was just like, you can say it yourself, that it was just a little bit much come 6 months.
Oh, definitely. It was a struggle.
Yeah.
And I think I was actually doing more damage to my hair the closer we got to the 6 months. Because it just, I just couldn't comb it the same. I couldn't manage it the same. And
putting in the tugging.
Exactly.
The knotting. I have it now.
It was awful.
I have it right now.
It was awful. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know much about hair care then. Not as much as what I know now. So I didn't actually know what to do to be able to maintain my hair in that state. So I presume that I lost all those potential 12 centimeters of growth because I was actually doing more damage than good. Relaxing every 6 months as opposed to a little bit more frequently, or at least not having the right tools to be able to take care of my hair in that state. Okay, so goal number 2 on my side is to let my hair down more. Literally and figuratively. But yes, I definitely need to let my hair down more. Anyone who knows me knows that every time you see me, my hair is typically up in a bun. I think it's just a safe hairstyle for me, and it's just, when I first figured out that I could tie my hair up in a bun, I got so excited. I'll do it all the time. And then it just became my go-to hairstyle because it's easy. I just wake up in the morning and I tie it up and I leave. But now the thing is, I started feeling like my edges were being strained by that. Constantly having my hair tied up would just tug at my edges, and I always tell people, listen to your hair. Your hair will always warn you. My edges are disappearing. You probably felt that pain long before the edges started disappearing. The warning was there and you just didn't listen. So my hair has been warning me that this thing of you always tying your hair up is actually just, a bit much for your edges. So let it down more, and that's what I intend to do this year. Is let my hair down more. Let it shrink, have fun with it in its stretched state, and even when it has
shrunk.
even when it was shrunk, I should still be able to enjoy my hair. And yeah, this is me, trying to let it down a little bit more. And yeah, that's the goal. That's a major goal for me this year. I think just let my edges chill. Really, don't strain them. And if I feel like they're being strained, listen and act immediately.
Listen and act. That is like, we can actually put that down as a caption. Like, listen and act. Thank you.
Yeah, 100%.
Which actually spills over into the third goal that we spoke about.
Yes.
Which is yours.
Have fun. Ooh. I definitely want to have fun with my hair this year. And I think one major move I made towards the end of last year, moving into 2019, was getting the undercut, And
we need to show a picture of that undercut alone, like in this picture. We will insert.
Yeah, the one that's on my page.
It needs a moment. It does. It needs its own special moment. It is so beautiful. And imagine you didn't do it.
Imagine if I didn't do it.
How much joy did it bring you?
So much joy. Just knowing that I'm brave and courageous enough to try these things out, And not to say everybody who doesn't try the one of brave and courageous, maybe we should take that up. But I think one comment I always get is, now after getting the undercut, is why did you cut your hair? Why did you do this? Even when I initially cut my hair, when I did the big chop to go natural, why did you cut your hair? And it's like, guys, hair grows back, hey? Hair grows back. Guess what? And that is such a liberating thing, Corey was mentioning how I think people are a little bit apprehensive to cut their hair because of the time it takes.
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
You did mention that.
It's like a scary thing, but also we need to stop with that limitation of like, oh, black hair takes so long to grow. It grows. Are you retaining that length?
Yeah.
That's what you should be worried about. Yeah. Not that this myth of, oh, black hair doesn't grow or doesn't grow fast enough or whatever. That we need to stop with. So being adventurous is really important.
Oh my goodness, it's fantastic.
Stretch your hair to, I want to say stretch your hair to its limits, but I mean, doing an undercut. I had an undercut a while ago. Yes. It was growing out. It's not looking good, but it grows out so quickly. 100%. In fact, so you don't have to worry about. You shouldn't be so held back by your hair goals, like holding on to them so tightly, like your length or whatever. Because if you are, like I said before, if you are holding on to your length so much, you're going to hold on to those dead ends quicker than you will, or much longer than you should, because you want hair length instead of hair health. What were you saying?
Another important thing about having fun is that it just makes the hair journey. Another important thing about having fun is that it makes the hair journey that much more pleasant. You're not necessarily chasing the end goal, but you're enjoying every single moment. You're more likely to take care of your hair better if you're having fun while you're doing it. So, experiment. Don't over manipulate your hair and then end up damaging it. Of course, that's not what we're here for. But if you like a haircut, if you like this, if you like that, try it out and really have fun with your hair and debunk all these myths that hair doesn't grow, because we're out here on Hairchats trying to learn the right routines to make sure our hair grows. So that shouldn't even be a concern at this point. But I think I definitely want to have fun taking care of my hair in 2019.
And that actually leads to my third point, which I've come up with a great word for it: experiment, which also speaks to protective styling and having fun. Because I think let me put it this way, I used to go to the hairdresser, I think every 2 weeks, and straighten my hair every 2 weeks, because I didn't want it to be I wanted it to be straight all the time. How crazy is that? Why? I don't even know. Like, I can't remember the last time I used to, I can't remember. I don't know why I even held onto that so much, because I'm actually enjoying having to, or being able to, wash my hair not straighten it, just moisturize it, give it the love it needs, and then put it in a protective style, like a flat twist. I've discovered the flat twist!
Flat twist for life!
It is so nice, and it's so elegant. Like, I think this debunking is also part of the debunking is how you look at your hair and what you think your hair looks like in its most beautiful state.
Yes.
You know, like you said, you get used to a certain hairstyle. I got used to the straight, sleek hair, and I'm like, no, there's nothing else. Meanwhile, like, I appreciate a flat twist, an elegant updo, a nice little bun.
100%.
I've been going ham on YouTube looking at protective styles, and there's so many out there. But if you're stuck on how your hair needs to look, even though you're damaging it, it's not gonna last, and you're never gonna have healthy hair. So again, it goes back to the healthy hair thing. Make that your number one priority. And I found that when I did that, I got used to my hair not being straightened all the time, and I learned to appreciate it and see that it was beautiful, and like stop looking for protective styles and appreciating people have amazing creativity out there. And so that was also one of the things that I started implementing in order to stretch my relaxer, going back to goal number 2, going back to goal number 1, but also, you know, with stretching my hair relaxer, also using less heat, low manipulation, so important for hair health, and trying to be creative with it, because personally I don't like super long-term protective styles. Like, I don't like braids. I think I've just been traumatized from 3 years ago. I think 3 years ago, when I moved to Korea, I braided my hair because I was like, I don't know what I'm going to find on the other side. Let's just braid it and protect it. But those ladies pulled my hair. Like, I feel like I'm probably exaggerating, but I feel like I'm still recovering. My edges are still recovering from being pulled and tugged. So that's where I don't like long-term protective styles, because I feel like your hair is in tension for so long that it weakens it. So that's where I'm like, I mean, if you do protective styling like box braids or whatever, you need to make sure that you know your hairstylist, you're talking to them, they're not making it too tight and not pulling and tugging.
And just to add to that, that is such an important point. So I am very picky about where I braid my hair for that reason specifically. And I will never, if I'm with my hairdresser and she's out here tugging and I can feel that it's pulling on my edges, I tell her to undo the braid and braid it again. You know, and really this is not even an issue of like familiarity, because I can't, well, nowadays I make sure that the same person braids my hair all the time because she's just that good. But you know, if for whatever reason it's not her, make sure you step in and you tell that person you've got to loosen the braid here because it's too tight. And I know a lot of women who stay in pain, they're busy taking painkillers every night to go to bed because that's how tight their braids are. That's not even a joke. I'm being so serious. I could cry right now.
That is scary.
We should not be going through that, you know. And this is what creates this negative perception around braiding and all of these things. Of course, everybody has a preference, but you know, it's important to just lay the ground rules, guys. When you're in pain, you should probably speak up and be like, nah, fix this. But that's something that I've also had to come to learn, that I can't spare, you know, this hairdresser is great, but I really can't spare your feelings at the expense of my edges and the health of my hair. We've got to speak up.
I think maybe the point at large with hair or protective styling is that if you do decide, protective styling is good for your hair. Number one, it is. Some people swear by wigs and weaves. I haven't tried it, but the point is that you need to do it safely. So when you put it in, do it safely, make sure it's not too tight, make sure it's not hurting your hair, because your hair has to stay in that state for quite some time. If it's like in hectic tension, it will break, it will weaken and eventually break. So you want to do your protective styling really safely. You want to keep them in for the right amount of time and not too long. And when you take them out, you want to be careful as well and give them the necessary time. Like, you know, if you do box braids, you need to wait a week or whatever after you've taken them out before you do anything else. So yeah, that's it. Hey, I think we have said a lot. Definitely, like 2019 goals are like life goals actually, but it's so important. I think probably we say that now that 2019 goals will be life goals, but as we learn about our hair, like what would have 2018 goals look like, probably different.
100%.
So as we learn more, I think hair health will forever be, but we'll start to see like what are the main pain points for the recent times and then adjust accordingly. But it is endlessly fascinating. And yeah, like let's make 2019 a year of flourishing and a year of our crowds flourishing. And just being super proud by the end of the year of how we've stuck to our goals and actually achieve them. Never mind achieve, like exceed, why not?
Let's exceed our expectations. 100%. 100%. It's going to be an awesome year for hair. And for you all around, but hair.
Stick with us. It will be.
Exactly.
I'm just joking. We would love to actually hear your comments, your 2019 goals. What do you want most out of this year? I think that'd be so, like, whatever you've heard, can you improve on that? Can you share something that has really worked for you?
And I think it'll also be interesting to know if hair goals were non-existent for you in the past. Like, has someone watched this and felt like, oh my gosh, I should actually set goals for my hair. Why don't I set goals for my hair?
Oh.
And if that's you, come through and tell us what your journey has been like and what your goals are moving forward. That would be really cool.
And what more you'd want to hear, like what kind of content you'd like on this platform. Since you have natural and relaxed, what more do you want? Share with us like what better content or what more content you would like to see, what questions you have for us that you'd like us to answer in future videos. This is all about us and our crowns. So thank you so much for joining us.
It's been awesome.
Bye.
Bye. I really hope it's good.